Hello there folks, and welcome back to another DMZ cast. Today we are playing on the second sacrifice map that I downloaded off the internet, so it is an unofficial map. Today we are playing as the Laser General versus the Chinese Commander-in-Chief, which is basically the Infantry General and the United States Assault General. And of course, starting off with the usual strategy of the Laser General, which is just basically walling off all the approaches. So this approach right here, and the approach up here. Now originally this map is a 2v2, however I don't want an ally, AI, so I left this spawn blank, which can allow me to expand over here, and in this game we get some serious mega basing starting up. So basically I have an overwhelming number of factories, an overwhelming number of aircraft, and an overwhelming number of laser cannons. And as we can already see here, a few infantry going up and to just scouting, and yeah, just a few infantry just dotting around. Infantry capturing these reinforcement pads for some extra vehicles, and these two infantry deciding that it is best not to head out too far and go back and capture this hospital, which allows infantry to auto heal across the map. However, that does give me more time to secure these approaches. Now these approaches on this map also have artillery support, so I can capture those with infantry of my own, and they also have bunkers. These are really useful in garrison, so you can garrison a bunch of infantry in there, and if you garrison missile defenders, they are very effective versus vehicles and aircraft. And in the case of lasers, the laser missile defender is also very effective against infantry, however less so than normal infantry, given that it is a missile, of course. A few tanks rolling out from the American general, and getting quite up close, but not really causing too much damage. Some flame tanks going up, not really going anywhere. Going up against the grinder, that is this defensive position over here. Getting up a few barracks just to get those infantry, to get those marines that will capture the artillery platforms and the missile defenders, as you can see right here, to garrison within these bunkers. And a full bunker will pay its dividends very fast, as the missile defenders are very efficient in destroying vehicles. Especially on this map, which has dual bunkers, so I can get dual garrisons of full, I think, 10? Yeah, I think each bunker holds 10 infantry, so 10 missile defenders in each bunker. So 20 missile defenders right here, concentrated on 2 bunkers, and they will pay the dividends very fast. Now, as you can see here, I have lost power, some terrible micro on my part, and that allows a few aircraft to get in, getting a few hits off this Chinook, which is a resource gatherer. Not quite killing it, taking it about halfway. And of course, putting those infantry to use in those bunkers. And the first super weapon of the game. Oh, I did not notice that before, but 2 aircraft were going around the side. Oh, they took down the Chinook that was here. Right, I did not notice that before. And I actually wondered later in the game why there wasn't Chinook here, where it had gone. I guess that is the answer. Now, as I was saying before, nuclear missile launcher right here in the Chinese army's base. Now, the nuclear missile in this mod is fairly powerful. It can take out a reasonable area. However, it is probably just regarded as the second most powerful weapon in the game, second only to the shockwave laser cannon, which can do an area of effect, and it can move, so it deals an area of effect across an area that it moves across. So while that is a very scary thing in the early game, I can deal with it with general powers that I already have, such as artillery strikes and the A-10 strike. And we're lagging quite a bit, so don't know how that will affect the performance of the recording. Okay, I'm just going to quickly fast forward to see if we can get across this lag spike, because bear in mind this is an unofficial map, so it does have some pathfinding issues, and sometimes the game doesn't like that. As we can already see, it has caught up in FPS. And now it is just a slow grind, as I pretty much run out of resources. I run out of money for my base. Getting a few capture points, this oil derrick and this oil refinery. The oil derrick, of course, giving funds, additional funds every so often, and the refinery reducing the cost of vehicles. Of course, even more infantry over here. Probably the most main reason why I ran out of resources so early is because I built so many barracks that I never really used, and I built a lot of infantry very early on. Actually, I think this is like the most money sink there is, because the Aurora bomber does cost quite a lot. And for each bomber, I think it is 2,200, and there are 4 of them, so that it costs quite a lot to fill an airfield full of aircraft. And we are lagging quite a bit again. I wonder what it is with this map, because I was lagging in game and I'm lagging now. So I wonder if... I think it's this pathfinding issue right here. It doesn't seem to... Yeah, this infantry right here doesn't seem to want to be going across this bridge. And I think the game just doesn't like that. Of course, that's unusual. I'm pretty sure infantry can't walk across water like that. You're not Jesus. See, you died. You're not Jesus. You can't walk across water like that. Call hacks. Now, of course, the expansion has slowed down significantly on my half, as the mega base does get quite slow in the middle game, as you run out of resources to build buildings and things. This Chinook taking quite a lot of damage. It's nearly dead. I wonder what from. Oh yes, from those raptors that came in earlier when I lost power, right. And of course, fast forwarding seems to fix the lag issues as the infantry get out of their pathfinding issues. Yeah, there we go. Actually, no, this infantry is still stuck here, so I don't think it's that. then I think it has to do something with this, I don't know. It's something either in the coding of the game or pathfinding on this map. Something or the other. Not quite sure which one. Of course, getting more infantry because, as you can see here, the missiles firing out of those. Of course, the missile defenders from the laser general are basically laser cannons. For what they fire, they fire a steady stream of a laser. So it is not an individual missile that can be shot down by other lasers. It is just a straight up laser cannon. And 10 of them in one place, it's a death trap for most tanks. Only the hardest, most armored tanks can get close, and even that, there are 2 bunkers, so technically there are 20 laser cannons. So you're pretty much screwed. You're pretty much screwed if you go up against that. And it's not like the normal laser defenders, which can be countered with the Avengers that shoot down those missiles. You cannot shoot down a laser with a laser. And of course that tank getting absolutely destroyed. Yeah, even those aircraft, they attacked like what, a spy plane? And they got shot down by those missiles. I'm sorry, I keep calling them missiles. They're not missiles, they're lasers. And of course, AC-130 to deal with this missile. This nuclear missile that's going to be very annoying if it launches. So, keeping up with that, destroying the dozers that can repair it, and getting some damage off it. I think, yeah, the minigunners of the Chinese general are very, very effective versus aircraft, because while missiles fired at aircraft can be evaded with the countermeasure upgrade from the airfield, the minigunner bullets don't get shot down. So basically, it's like a laser, but in infantry form. And if you actually heard their voice in the game, it is really hilarious, as is they are like the stereotypical Chinese dude. It is very, like, you can hear the accent very, very clearly. It is very funny if you play with it, and you just hear them say, yes sir, or like, you know, I am here, and whatever. It is like, oh, you're clearly Chinese. No doubt about it. Of course, tanks rolling in once more, going up against this grinder that is this approach. Getting a few hits off the artillery platform that does auto repair over time. And yep, so just grinding away at those tanks. Not really getting anywhere. They're not getting through this base in a million years. So long as I keep this nuclear missile from firing, it is a okay game for me. And now, the Shockwave laser cannon, one of the first of many. As I said before, the most powerful super weapon in the game, mainly due to the fact that it moves and does an area of effect. So basically, it combines a nuclear missile with a particle cannon from the base game. And it's just like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna move across your base and do an area effect. Like, that's probably the most overpowered ability there is. And for the fact that it does so much damage over like a large area, it is a very effective weapon against bases. Of course, infantry is standing still. Not very good against artillery, is it? Of course, as you can see here, the bunkers doing their work against those transports, and even killing off infantry. They don't do as much damage to infantry as a normal laser would, because they are technically missiles. However, there are enough here that it will only take a few seconds to kill them. Infantry running in versus the fire bases, not a good idea. Now a second laser cannon going up, and a few supply drop zones. Now this is the start of the mega base that I talked about earlier. As we start combining these bases and just getting up all the production in the world, and all the airfields and all of the laser cannons in the world. Now we're lagging again, don't know why. There we go. Now, of course, going too close to the laser with an aircraft, not a good idea. You don't want to get close to a laser with an aircraft. Now, of course, this area right here is basically a kill zone between these two bunkers and the laser cannons over here. If you want to get close, use artillery. However, I don't think the assault general has access to artillery units, and it seems that the infantry general over here wants to just keep pumping out infantry and putting up against the grinder. Dealing with this nuclear missile launcher once more, with an AC-130 and artillery strike combo, and dealing with it nicely. Now, these infantry right here will probably shoot down. Yep, there we go. AC-130 was shot down by those infantry. Nearly destroyed that barracks. It was a nice attempt. Now, of course, they have expansions pretty much everywhere on their side, while my side is bare, as I do. Okay, so these ones are not in range of the lasers, so these ones are fine. However, the supplies on this side are very close proximity to these lasers, so basically no one's getting these ones, but they can have these ones, I don't mind. You can have those, I'm a good guy. I let people have those supplies. Obviously, enemy planes getting shot down by those lasers, obviously nothing new. And the beginning of getting more airfields, and even more supply drop zones. And now we can just see the mega basing starting to go up. As we combine these two bases into one. As we start merging across this this plateau over here, getting up more war factories, and of course keeping up with the power demand, getting up more power reactors. Of course, shockwave laser cannon, dealing with that nuclear missile in due course, and taking out that barracks as well. Unfortunately, if you take out a nuclear missile with a shot laser cannon, you cannot move it as the damage does not stay in one place for long enough. A total of 4, getting up even more after that. Getting up some more command centers just to in case the nuclear missile does launch and a portion of the base does get hit. I do not lose too many in terms of radar coverage, as the command centers do provide radar. So even if this command center goes down, I will not lose radar coverage as I have 2 more. And of course, expanding to the back of my area with a supply center and getting up this oil derrick and this supply depot. Getting up more production just to populate the area, with things and gubbins. And of course, those supply drop zones paying the dividends. And of course, another nuclear missile going up. However, going up against 5 shockwave laser cannons, I don't think it's gonna get up very, it's not gonna do anything really. And already, and it's gone. And as we can see here, another base goes up, and soon it will merge into the existing base as it goes across here, and we'll just expand outwards and just mega base our way to victory. We just fast forward now. As we laggy fast forward, come on. Getting out more laser cannons and more war factories just because, why not? Capturing that oil derrick with this infantry. Of course, the supply drop depots giving me basically infinite resources. As I build more and more and more, I will exponentially increase in the amount of resources that I have. And with those supply drop zone funds, I will get more supply drop zones and even more airfields. And just slowly but surely expanding outwards. Again, another nuclear missile going up. At this point of the game, I don't think many people would probably just keep going, but the AI has to keep going as it is an AI. Trying so desperately to get up that nuclear missile, just like, oh, I want to nuke your base. However, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 laser cannons just ready to fire at my face. Now, these helicopters trying to go for those supplies, however, the attacking infantry can shoot down those Chinook very quickly, so I don't want them to be out there. So instead, just go back here, just to be safe. Even more airfields, and even more stuff, just stuff everywhere. Just fill the entire area with things. And of course, these airfields are currently empty. However, very soon, I'll be filling them up with aircraft. So just getting up more and more things, more and more war factories and airfields. Just all the things. All the things can be mined. Of course, depleting that shock supply depot very soon. And of course, again, nuclear missile, because I need to build a nuclear missile. Of course, nothing new. Infantry dying to the firebase. And we can see on the minimap, the entire area over here has been filled with buildings. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, so as I was saying, the entire section of this minimap has been filled with buildings, as you can see down there. Just like everywhere, just like, oh, buildings everywhere. You can't help it. And even more buildings going up in the back of this base. More laser cannons, because why not? Just slowly and but surely filling up that entire section of the screen with laser countdown timers. Now these airplanes over here, they've already dropped down their supplies. However, they are still in the game, so they can be shot down. And I don't think they give out too much experience points to get the general powers, so I'm not too particularly worried. As you can see there, the Gatling turrets right there, shooting those down, because Gatling turrets, like the minigunners, disregard countermeasures. As the advanced Patriots do fire missiles, they regard countermeasures, so the countermeasure upgrade from the airfield can effectively just negate advanced Patriots and all sort of missile-based infantry. Except, of course, the laser missile infantry, because lasers disregard countermeasures as well. Basically, now I'm just trolling the AIs right now. Just, hey, like, you know, you can send units into my grinder, and I'll just build up 1 billion shockwave laser cannons in my base. Now, as we are just waiting for all the things to just go up, as you can see here, the aircraft are starting to populate the airfields. We are going to cut to basically the end sort of middle game where things start to get interesting as all these aircraft start moving. And where the laser light show, that is this blob over here, starting to wreck some base. So I'm gonna cut right now, and we'll see you on the other side. And welcome back, folks. As you can see here, starting the destruction of this base. Destroying everything with these laser cannons just moving across, doing area of effect damage. Just clearing out this base with ease. Parts of buildings flying across the screen. Just destroying those bunkers and garrisons. Yep, just killing off this movement of units right here. And dealing with the American base as well. Destroying those artillery platforms. And destroying that bunker right there. And just killing off, just finishing off the base. And if we look back at my base, bar one airfield, the entirety of all these airfields have been filled up with Raptors and bombers. The bombers, of course, can attack ground units, and the Raptors can attack air units as well as ground units. However, the bombers cannot be attacked while on their bombing run, their initial bombing run. On their return, they can be shot down, and the Raptors, they can be shot down at any time. And of course, this abomination that is a vehicle blob, we have the laser artilleries and the Avengers. This combo right here, the laser artillery with the Avengers, is probably the most overpowered combo there is in this game, as the laser artillery is basically a long-range tank that can just penetrate through pretty much anything. It can 1 or 2 hit most tanks, and can 3 hit most buildings. Especially grouped up in a large group like this, with some Humvees and some other gubbins like the microwave tank and just the regular laser tank. This tank blob, if I moved in right now, this entire base would be destroyed, because those helicopters are not enough to destroy this tank blob. No matter how much they try, the Avengers will take them down with lasers. However, I want to be funny, and of course, waiting on 3 aircraft to just, the ultimate troll, just move all the aircraft over their base, just destroy every single building there is. So we're gonna fast forward, waiting on these 3 aircraft right here. 2 aircraft. And we're just waiting on the final aircraft. And out it comes. So, very soon, this entire American base over here will be decimated. As we begin to move. And on the minimap you can just see a wave of movement just going across. Oh my. And, of course, taking out all the perimeter defenses with those bombers. Coming in, picking off all the things, taking out pretty much all the buildings that there are, and the Raptors, of course, coming in, taking out those helicopters. Some missed micro here leaves the bombers to go back to the airfield while the Raptors take out all the infantry, falling prey to those advanced Patriots somewhat. Yeah, the Raptors don't do as much damage as the bombers do. There we go. Now these Patriot missiles here do deal out some pain to these Raptors here, because they cannot evade those missiles quite easily as the bombers do. As you can see there, Raptor getting taken out. But of course, more aircraft just going in. And even as I say that, look at here. The countdown timers are nearing 0, so we can do the laser light show, that is the laser cannons once more, destroying those Patriot missiles without putting pain to those aircraft. And of course, while we're doing that, we missed the movement of the tank blob. Of course, the Humvees getting to the base sooner, as they are the fastest unit in the vehicles, as they are sort of a scout vehicle. Of course, the artillery is not far behind, and just omnipresent aircraft in this base. As you can see on the minimap, just a flurry of movement. Moving past these expansions, just taking out all the units, but leaving the buildings because it is an attack move. And clearing out this base and destroying this expansion over here. Dealing with the stragglers and basically dealing with these hackers over here, which do give the Chinese army additional funds. They're sort of like supply drop zones. Of course, dealing with these infantry over here, completely useless, and of course, dealing with these expansions over here, dealing with the hospital and that, and the American Hard Army has been defeated. And now to just sit around and troll, just move all the units to the reactor and just hug it. Hug it with your life. Now, as you can see here, the aircraft can settle down, and we can see the losses that it has taken. Mainly Raptors due to their susceptibility to everything, missiles included, and of course miniguns. Let's see here, we have one airfield completely depleted, 2 airfields, and yeah, I think 2 airfields have been completely depleted of all their aircraft. I think, yeah, these ones have been filled with Raptors, so all the Raptors in that airfield have been shot down. And even with the airfields that have a Raptor in them, it's only 1 or 2. As you can see here, the bomber airfields, they have minimal losses. Some have been shot down by a stray bullet or 2, but it doesn't really matter as they are quickly replenished by the amount of funds that I have. If we quickly look into, yeah, as you can see there, a lot really. 1 million? No, yeah, no, 100,000. 1,600,000, yep. And of course, because I have the power, just destroying buildings everywhere. Even those buildings that were not garrisoned, I just, because why not? I have the power, I have the resources to spend. I can just destroy these things, because I feel like it. However, fast forwarding through that, of course, and moving the aircraft, and game over. The ultimate troll. Destroying your own units and winning the game at the same time. Brilliant. And that brings us to the end of this DMC cast. I hope you've all enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more content every so weeks, as I have time. My dearest apologies for the last few weeks. Actually, the amount of content that I've been putting out is lacking. Mainly because I'm so busy with things like in life and work. So I promise to get out more if I can. So stick around for more, and until the next time folks, take care.